Foreign Minister Stephen Smith has just returned from a public relations tour of India and is now dusting off the welcome mat for both the Indonesian and American presidents. The Minister joins us now from Canberra. Mr Smith, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Michael.
Well, I've just spoken to Fergus Hanson of the Lowy Institute in Sydney. They, as you probably know, have released a report that casts a pretty dim picture of the state of the Australia-Indonesia relationship. Is it as bad? Is it as pessimistic as they say?
Well, I think it is a pessimistic report, although it does have some good suggestions for the future, which I'll come to. But the Australian government inherited a good relationship with Indonesia from our predecessors. That wasn't always the case, but when we came to office in December 2007, it was in good shape. And we think that the relationship has gone to an even higher level since that time. Indeed, there are people on both sides, Australia and Indonesia, who believe that the relationship has never been better. It's one of our most important relationships, and the fact that the President is coming with a large delegation and addressing a joint sitting of our Parliament underlines and reflects the importance of the relationship into the future. Indonesia, of course, is a near neighbour, but Indonesia is now emerging not just as a regional influence, but as a global influence, as a member, for example, of the G20, and that underlines the long-term strategic, economic and social importance of Australia working very closely with Indonesia.
How much of a sticking point will the always contentious issue of people smuggling be when the Indonesian President sits down with the Prime Minister today?
Well, when you're dealing with close relationships where you're neighbours, there will always be issues that you need to deal with, whether it's the movement of people, whether it's issues of capital punishment and the like. But I think the qualitative change that we see in the relationship now is that we can deal with these matters almost on a business-as-usual basis. There was a time in the past when such issues would have, frankly, rocked the relationship, but the relationship's much more mature. So we'll obviously have a conversation with the Indonesian delegation, the Prime Minister with the President, and me with my counterpart, Foreign Minister Natala Gower, about working together on the very difficult issue of displaced people and people movement and people smuggling. That'll obviously be one of the things that we talk about, and we're both committed to working closely together on a regional basis on that front, and that's why some years ago Australia and Indonesia established the so-called Bali process, where countries and institutions in our region work closely together on the people smuggling front.